guess the lights have been shining a lot brighter. Let's have a drink with the girls from the videos.
Hey guys, Z on the Sand here, and today, as you already know from the title, we're going to be talking about what if Goku and Vegeta fused in the Cell Saga. But before I get started, I'd like to ask if you could go subscribe to Trunks the Super Saiyan, and because he was the one who suggested a what if, so I just came up with this. Now, back to the topic. We're going to be starting right at the time when they were going to the Cell games and they were flying, but right before they were at the lookout, I think. Oh wait, no, they were. But we'll just say that the Supreme God just randomly shows up in front of them. I know this is just like stupid and stuff, but yeah, so the Supreme God just randomly shows up in front of them and then sees that they're in trouble because they sense that there's a powerful fighter, and then they sense that nobody is strong enough there to defeat him. So, since he doesn't want the Earth to be destroyed, he goes and he tells them that he has something called the Batara earrings that can help you to fuse and become a much more powerful warrior. So, Goku takes these earrings and then he asks Vegeta, do you want to fuse? Now, I know this is just random and stupid because, I mean, come on, like, couldn't you have asked somebody else like Trunks? But, yeah, basically, I'm just doing this because, I mean, how else are they gonna fuse? I mean, like, it's not like they're gonna ask in the middle of a battle or whatever. So, he asks Vegeta, and Vegeta is, of course, reluctant because, I mean, come on, it's Vegeta. He's like, I don't want to stay fused with you forever. Yeah, I forgot to say, Supreme Kai also mentioned that it is permanent. And, by the way, we're not going to be using the rules from the retcon. We're just going to say that it's permanent, and it'll actually be permanent. So, sorry for the people who want me to, like, stick to the rule book or whatever, but I'm just gonna be saying that it's permanent. So, anyway, Vegeta saying, oh, I'm the Prince of the Saiyans and blah blah blah, and I will not fuse with this low-class warrior, and all this other crap. And so he keeps arguing and saying, no way, but eventually they come to terms. I don't know how, I didn't think that for that part, but yeah, basically they come to terms and Vegeta eventually puts on the earring, and blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And plus, they can just wish for the Dragon Balls to unfuse them, so, I mean, it's perfectly fine. So, they eventually put on both earrings on the opposite ears from each other, and they fuse, and there's a bright light, and everybody around was like, whoa, amazing, blah, blah, blah. And then, both of their keys disappear, and one new, way more powerful key is now present. Now, how strong would Vegito be at this point? I'd say that, well, he's obviously, basically he's about 400 times stronger than Goku base at this point, or Goku Super Saiyan 3 in the Cell games. But Goku Super Saiyan 3 in the Cell games really isn't that much to say, because, well, you know that we don't know how strong Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the Cell games is. So I'm just going to say that this Vegito is 2 times more powerful than Teen Gohan, and in his base form, since Goku and Gohan at Super Saiyan were about the same strength. That pretty much is, like, accurate, I think. So, anyway, they fuse, and then everybody is amazed at how powerful they are, and like, oh my gosh! And then they continue flying off, but before they leave, of course, they have to say, thank you, Supreme Kai, or whoever you are. And then the Supreme Kai, well, basically says you're welcome and then leaves and wishes them good luck. So then they fly to the Cell games, and basically Cell is like super surprised with all this. He's like, oh, who are you? And does all this, and he's like, I am nor Goku nor Vegeta, whatever. I am Vegito, because they just came up with it on the fly here, with the name as they were flying off and flying towards the Cell games. So anyway, they say that, and then they step onto the Cell games stage. Oh my gosh, sorry, but they step up onto the Cell games ring, and then they don't just start fighting right away. They actually are like just standing there for a second, because Vegito realizes that there is something beyond even Super Saiyan. So he goes to try it out. So he transforms into a Super Saiyan 2. Now, the reason that he's able to transform into a Super Saiyan 2 right now is because that he is so much more powerful than before, because, he's 2 times stronger than King Gohan in his base form, Super Saiyan 2. That's insane. That is just insane. So of course he should be able to go Super Saiyan 2, right? So he transforms into a Super Saiyan 2, and then everybody is shocked. And it's like, insane! Look at that kid! Says Yamcha. And then basically they just one punch him in the one punch Cell in the gut, and then just blast him into oblivion. Can't regenerate or anything. And then that's basically it. Now, there are some differences here. 1, Gohan did not transform into a Super Saiyan 2. And 2, Goku did not die, which means no Gotenks. And, well, basically that's about it. So, then the 7-year gap begins. So, basically, Vegito is now known as the most powerful being in the entire world because he was the one who defeated Cell. And basically, they just continued training for the 7 years. And I would say after about 3 years, they would basically achieve Super Saiyan 3. How? Because it's Goku and Vegeta, and their potential is amazing and immense. So I believe Super Saiyan 3 would be pretty easy for them, and then they would spend the rest of the 7 years mastering it. Now, whereas for Goten, Gohan, and Trunks, well, they would basically all be a little bit stronger. Gohan, I would say he eventually achieved Super Saiyan 2 like after 5 years or so, because he's still studying and he's still doing all the things that Chi-Chi wants him to do, but he also still has a dad, it's a fused dad. Man, that is just a complicated relationship. But anyway, basically he still has a dad that wants to train a lot, so they may train once or twice every like couple of weeks or months or whatever. And Gohan, especially with his potential, I would say would reach Super Saiyan 2 and would be about 2 times stronger than his regular self in the Boo saga. And as for Goten and Trunks, they would both get a boost. I'd say a 2 times boost as well, because it's their dad. So basically, after all of this happens, we get to the universe. Not the universe tournament. Sorry. Then we get to the martial arts tournament. I don't remember which one it is. I think it was like the 26th or whatever, but I don't really remember which one. So basically, they get to the universe. The tournament. And basically, everything happens almost the exact same, except without Vegeta punching the punch thingy or whatever. Oh yeah, Gohan's high school thing also goes basically the same as well. So basically, they go to the tournament, and everything basically happens the exact same. Trunks still wins the tournament, though, because I would think that since he's a year older, he would start training a year earlier and be a bit stronger than Goten. So yeah, basically everything happens almost the exact same. And yes, Gohan's power does still get absorbed by Yamamoto's guys, except it's a bit harder for the Supreme Kai to contain Gohan because Gohan is twice as powerful. And he even stated when Gohan was way weaker than in this scenario that he didn't even know if he could contain it. So I'm not even sure if he could, but we'll just say he could for the sake of the story. So basically they did absorb him and they took him back. And instead of Gohan being a little bit less than half, Gohan would actually be a little bit more, would actually almost completely fill the entire, he would almost completely fill the entire all of Boo's energy. So he would almost, so in his Super Saiyan 2 form, he would almost be as powerful as Super Saiyan. He would almost be as powerful as Majin Buu. So basically, then they all fly there, and everything happens exactly how it does in the anime. And then I'm just going to leave it right here for now, guys. I'm sorry, that was my first what if, so it was pretty bad, I'd say. So but hope you guys can just bear with me, and I'll see you for part 2. And again, go subscribe to Trunks to Super Saiyans, Trunks to Super Saiyans channel, and also subscribe to me. And I'll see you guys later.
If I could begin to be half of what you think of me, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love. When I see the way you